Yesterday, I attended a meeting in Traverse City at the library of over 160 people that came together overnight out of concern for what is happening in our government. And I commented at the end of the meeting, and they ended it with my comment. And my I have a couple of things to share. Everybody was very concerned, alarmed, and angry, and wanting to know what can we do, um, because it sure felt like we are victims and powerless and that kind of thing. And I refuse to be a victim. But here's the thing: my story is that I was once a member of the John Bircher Society. I was extremely conservative, a conservative Republican. Young Americans for Freedom in college, and I didn't begin to change my mind until several decades later. And it came through as a result of several things, but one was a very good friend who was very patient. She was very liberal Democrat, and and I loved her, but we sure saw politics differently. In 1980, I was calling for Ronald Reagan in that campaign. In 1981, Dave Stockman, 1980, Dave Stockman, who became Reagan's director of Office of Management and Budget until he left a year later, was sitting in my living room at a coffee that I gave him for his campaign to be our representative. I was down in Adrian, Michigan. So that's my story. So I now am I'm not a member of the Democratic Party. I am very liberal. My thinking changed in the late 1980s, and I'll tell you how it happened. Very quickly, a friend of mine, she would come over to our house, and we would spend lots of time with our sons playing, and my husband off doing his thing, and she and I would laugh, and we had so much fun. And it was a great friendship, but we sure had a difference of opinion on politics. And she was very succinct in expressing the way she thought, and I would express the way I thought, and we would leave it there. But eventually, she came to question some of my what I would say, and I would not be so much defensive, but then she would come back with alternative ways to look at it. And we always came from the heart. It wasn't from the head. And I think that's the difference now. I think everybody has their programming. And this is my suggestion that we go back. And this is what I said yesterday in my comment, is that this talking paradigm going from one paradigm to the other is not working. And we need to be connecting heart to heart with our neighbors, with our family members, with the people in our community, regardless of how they think politically. Because a lot of the thinking politically is because of programming. And it's not working for our country. Our country is breaking down because of it. So what we need to do, in my estimation, is go back to the beginning, to the basics, and relate to each person the way she related to me, heart to heart, having kind words, and listening and understanding and suggesting an alternate way of thinking about this issue or that issue. And I'm going to leave it at that for right now, because I know lots of people are going to disagree, and you can all disagree all you want. All I can tell you is that I made that switch in 1987, 88, and I never went back. I never went back. So there's that.